What's up, guys? Welcome to the quarantine. I'm your host, Wolf, and today we're going to take a look at Exoplanets by Board and Dice. Now, just recently got crowdfunded on Kickstarter, and this is the print and play copy of it. Now, it plays 2 to 4 players, plays in about 30 minutes, is what it says. Now, probably closer to 45 minutes to an hour, give or take. It says 12 plus. I don't know, it's not very difficult of a game to comprehend, but probably 10 plus. Anyways, disclaimer, as you can see here, this is the rulebook draft. I did crowdfund this, and I printed all this stuff out, so it's very fiddly. The pieces you're going to see are just square cutouts of paper, because I didn't feel like carving each individual thing out. They're literally just squares. It was enough to play several games with. Rules in this are subject to change, of course. Pretty much everything in this is subject to change because it is the rulebook draft. So I did get 2 or 3 games of this in with my cousin and my brother. So how does it play and how did I like it? Let's find out.
Alright, this is Exoplanet, fully set up for 2 players. Each additional player, you're going to add 1 planet to each one of these arms. Of course, up to 4. You're also going to put 5 of these little yellow marker things on the sun for each player, because the game only lasts 5 rounds. Then each player is going to take their little gaggle of tokens and whatnot. These basically mean like biological life, essentially, single-celled organisms, fish, just small shit. And then this is a dominant species. So the way this game is going to take place is the first on the, and by the way, again, like normal, this is not a tutorial. I'm just briefly going over gameplay. You're going to take solar energy from the sun. Then you're going to, you can either pick one of these, which there's not supposed to be 3 here. You can pick one of these to place, or you can draw from our little planet thing. You draw 2 cards, look at them, see which one you want. And what you're going to do is, if you notice, there's a symbol here and a symbol here. So if I put this here, they all have to always be facing the same direction. I'm going to get 1 blue and 1 yellow resource. So let's say I put that there. So I'm going to go ahead and collect from the little dust cloud here. I'm going to collect 1 yellow and 1 blue. So that's now my little resource pool starting to grow. Then you're going to get this because I put it where this was at. Now, this is hot environment. So what does that mean? The game comes with a handy little guide. So it says hot environment, create a species on 2 planets in the first orbit. This would be right here. Or on the bottom, it has a little, come on. There we go. It has this little spiral little symbol, and then this. So you can flip this play right over, and it says that at the end of the game, the number of creation points for planets adjacent to this planet are increased by 3 for all players. So if I wanted to, I could. This means you have to take a black hole. This here, there it is, means you have to take a solar flare. And I'll explain what those are in a minute. But you could put this under a planet. And it's really neat if you look at them. I, of course, didn't cut them out properly because I didn't care that much right now. They're going to line up to where it creates just a circle, which is cool. So you can only play one of those on each planet, but they're huge, huge game changers. So I'd put that there, and I'd have to take a black hole marker. And then I can create life. So up here, on the top of the planet here, it would say in order to create any kind of life, you need solar, water, and gas in order to create a single stage of life. Whereas this one, you only need sun. So why the hell do this one over this one, right? I mean, this one's just a lot easier. I'd spend 1 and create, microbe life on it. But at the end of the game, for every, it went this way, for every one of these that are on a planet, which I'll get to these later, it is the number of those you have on it times this is how many points it's worth. So if I have, 3 of these on here, this planet's only worth 3 points. Where if I have 3 of them on here, it's worth 9 points. So it's way more advantageous to put it on here instead of here. Though entire strategies I played that can be revolved around just getting all of these little ones, because it's quick points. Once you're going to get your 5th point of life, you can add what's called species. You can create a species. So you'd remove everything on there, including opponents, put it on here, and now you're the only person that can have anything on here. Basically, this is the max. You can't go above this, but basically, you're the only thing there. Basically, you become humanity and destroy everything else. But those are worth 5 points. So you only spend 4 of whatever the resources are, 4 solar, 4 water, and 4 gas, essentially. And you're going to be getting 5 points per. And I'm sorry, my cat just freaked out across the living room. That's a lot more points. And if, like, let's say I put that on and you have to remove 2 of your little micro life off of here. For each one, you're going to get 1 resource of your choice, which is pretty cool. So that way you're not completely screwed. And there's actually another tactic for that. Like if you have an abundance of solar energy, but you need something else, go ahead and put some, microbe life on a planet that your your opponent is going to conquer. That way you're essentially exchanging the solar energy for whatever else you need. Pretty neat. So let's put this up here. Let me explain what these 3 things up here are. You have the creation circle thing. It looks like one of the little sprite things from Osmos or Osmosis or whatever that mobile game is that you play while you're pooping or whatever. But the first time per planet, per turn, you create any form of life, you're going to draw one of these. Once they're depleted, for every 2, you get 1 resource of your choice. So there's another strategy. You can screw somebody out of free resources. So it's kind of neat. This one here, everybody is going to discard 1 of these little bonus objective things that I had mentioned. And then the person who has the most is going to discard 2. The solar flare, and if the devs are watching, according to the rulebook, that is a misprint. But the way it works is everybody's going to lose 2 gas resources if able. And whoever has the most solar flares is going to lose a 3rd one. And that's pretty much it. At the end of the game, you're going to add up all of your little victory points, and whoever has the most wins. The game also comes with a bunch of these little markers that you could put next to all the planets that'll help you remember. Like, at the end of the game, you just got crap everywhere. You got all these little tokens, like this one costs plus water to make. This one costs gives you minus 3 points. And you just got them all over the damn place. But game ends once the last solar energy is taken from the star. Basically, the star dies. And, of course, you can't have life without solar energy, as far as we know. So the game is over. Whoever took the last piece of solar energy gets their last turn to try to squeeze out a little remainder of points. At the end of the game, you're going to take all of these that you've earned, and you're going to add these up, and then all your, this is worth 9, and this is worth this much, and so on and so forth. Highest victory points wins. It's actually a fairly simple, straightforward game. This is one of the few games recently that I've played that I didn't really need to go watch a video tutorial to learn. I mean, I did a little bit afterwards just to make sure we'd played it all right. But the rulebook, even though it's a draft, reads pretty well. I mean, they have little descriptions. If my shit wants to, little descriptions of what everything means and whatnot. It reads well enough. So it's a very simple game. If I really wanted to, I could probably teach my 8-year-old to play it. Is how simple it is. I don't know if I would, mainly because this is a very, very mean game. Like, very. I wound up screwing over my brother while playing this the last time. Big time. Like, to the point where he lost... Basically, he only made half the points he was going to wind up making and wound up coming in dead last. It's just a very very aggressive game, which I personally like. However, you have a small child, they're definitely not going to like that. But let's go to final thoughts. Exoplanet. Well, like I said earlier, it's a very aggressive game, so if that's not your cup of tea, don't even bother with this game. However, if you do like to be aggressive and take that and, get that big grin on your face when you just screwed everybody but you on the table, it's a great game. It's very simple. Like I mentioned, if my daughter wasn't so emotional, I would probably teach her to play it, but I don't think that she could handle just how aggressive the game actually is.
But I've taught it to two people, my brother and cousin. They both really enjoyed it. We played 2 games of it. My cousin won both times because he, I swear, sold his soul to Satan or something. He most of the time wins. I don't understand how, but pretty sure he's cheating most of the time. One thing to note, I think I might have mentioned earlier, the little crystals that are going to be coming with the game apparently are fishbowl decorations. A friend of mine has Ascension, and it comes with basically the same exact things. And apparently he found them at Walmart in the fish aisle. So I mean, that's not really a bad thing. I mean, hey, I have these here for a game that I'm trying to create, trying to develop, I guess, whatever the hell you want to call it. So I mean, hey, use what you got to use. If it works, it works. But the game's pretty cool. I think it ran $40 on Kickstarter, or 45 after shipping. However, one thing I will note, the devs, they seem pretty cool guys. Like, I messaged them to see if they wanted me to mention anything special about this beforehand, and they liked the fact that I was checking with the developer first. They just wanted me to make sure everybody knew that these are beta rules, everything here, even the art, is subject to change, blah, blah, blah. But their poll thing that they did, where you're supposed to claim your rewards and whatnot, they're basically essentially forcing people to have to get additional expansions. They are saying that that's an error and they're going to be re-releasing it, but it's been like 2 weeks now since they re-released it, so I don't know what's up with that. I'll keep you all updated if anything happens bad with that. But overall, totally a fun game. I'm super excited to get the physical copy, and so like these are just a pain in the ass to like slide the little piece of paper around, and it's just a pain in the ass. I can't wait till I have physical oomph pieces. So pick it up. When it comes out, it's going to be an awesome game. Plays up to 4. And like I said, hour. And my wife will love this game because she doesn't like games that last more than an hour. So anyways, sorry that this was all over the place. Never did a early access, like, print and play game before, so whatever. If you can leave me a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time in the quarantine.